Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. In the wake of all this confusion that Kenya has found itself in, we need sober minds and those people who can face leaders and tell them the truth. Because our leaders seems to be very much corrupt with power. One old man once told me that when gods want to finish you, they will first make you mad. And I can see a lot of madness from the Kenya Kwanza team, and they need someone to call them to order. One of those very few people who have committed themselves to tell the Kenya Kwanza team, to be precise, our Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, the truth is one Kabando Kabonda, the former Member of Parliament of Mukureni constituency. You see, Rigathi Gachagua is so much obsessed with power that it is either him or him. It is either his way or his way, not even the highway. It is either Rigathi or Gachagua. So concerning his popularity in Central Province, because you all know that Rigathi Gachagua is fighting so hard to become the sole Mount Kenya kingpin and is trying to do everything, including theatrics. The other time he was in Mount Kenya praying, and so he wants to remain the ultimate Mount Kenya kingpin. But Kabando has this bad news to Rigathi Gachagua. Kabando is telling Rigathi Gachagua this, that of Ruto Rigathi bravado against Raila's maandamano, SARS, review Nyandarua clips. You'll see hustlers are done with you. They say you've lied to them enough. Leave the lie of 50 CAS, Chief Administrative Secretaries. If Raila resumes hashtag Mandamano Mondays, you will go. Chest thump all you can do. But hii nchi imechoka. That is the news from Kabando Kabando. Kabando Kabando is a former member of parliament from Mount Kenya. He's a senior member as far as being in parliament is concerned. Remember, our deputy president became an MP just one term, MP for Madeira constituency. And how lucky can some people be? So Kabando Kabando understands central politics well. He's not just speaking, and he is non-partisan. If you look at, if you go through some of his tweets, at some point he's telling Raila Amolo Odinga that you were captured by Uhuru Kenyatta and that is why you could not deliver. But I want to stick to this. Rigathi Gachagua seems detached from the reality. He has buried his head in the sand, and he doesn't want to listen to anything. It is because those who are supposed to tell him the truth are equally mad and confused. People like Kimani Ichung'wah and Nini Nyoro. Very sharp minds from central Kenya. Kabando is saying that hii nchi imechoka. The country is just tired of the lies. Because all these lies did not start today. The lies started during the campaign. In fact, it was the campaign vehicle that was used to propel some of these leaders into power. Because at the heart of it was the accusation that the cost of living became so hard because of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto. Because life was untenable and it was hard, even though it is harder now than it was. The hustler nation swallowed the lies, and majority of them voted for William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. They waited for 100 days, nothing has happened. They've been requested for, I don't know, some 3 to 6 months. But there is not even any sign, iota of signs and symptoms to see that things are working. Instead, the administration has embarked on another lie, because I have always told you, this channel, that when you build a family on a foundation of fallacies, you will keep on with the fallacious statements to keep it moving. So they keep on lying. In fact, it's very funny that they still want to blame Uhuru Kenyatta. People have always given Rigathi Gachagua an example because he's the one who comes up and says that they want to take this economy to the stature that Kibaki left it, which is good enough. It is good to be ambitious. But people are reminding Rigathi Gachagua that when Mwai Kibaki inherited this the economy then from the former regime, Nyayo, it was worse than what they have inherited. But never once did we hear Mwai Kibaki blaming anyone. Instead, Kibaki sat down with think tanks and they decided to draw a path. They decided not to politic at all. And they charted the way forward. And that is how we came up with CDF, free primary education, the Thika superhighway. That is, we saw at least something was happening. I'm not saying that it was perfect, but at least, because these are politicians, they will continue politicking, but at least we saw something happening. It is during Kibaki that we had even one of the worst corruption case, the Anglo-leasing. But be that as it may, there was something happening. But Rigathi Gachagua wakes up, sleeps, wakes up when they think of Raila, when they think of the position, and when they think of another lie. They have captured the churches, and that is where they manufacture and deliver their lies. It's painful, so excruciating that even the Hustler Nation to date still want to swallow these lies. But Kabando is saying that people are tired. Rigathi Gachagua keeps on saying that he does not want a handshake. Even after Raila Amolo Odinga has said that they do not want to shake hands, Raila Amolo Odinga said that he's not interested in a handshake. But Rigathi Gachagua continues to say that there is no handshake. To him, he is so much obsessed about 2032. Because if you ask Rigathi Gachagua, the plan is clear. He believes William Ruto must do a 2-term limit and then hand over power to him. And is ready to do anything. So this administration, instead of sitting down to deliver what they promised, they continue to play politics. Politics and developments sometimes don't go together. If they have to go together, one must rise above the other. Politics must be minimized and development maximized completely. But that is not the case with this administration. What is injuring the administration is that they don't care about the hustler anymore. Kabando is saying that leave alone even the lies about the 50 CAS, the chief administrative secretaries. You know, we still wonder why there was no hustler appointed into the offices of the chief administrative secretaries. We saw recycling of people who have been in government. We saw rewarding of crooks and cronies on those who supported Ruto's bid to become the president. The hustlers have been forgotten. In fact, we no longer hear any talks about the hustler as we used to hear it during the campaigns. Hustlers, you have been forgotten. Please wake up. Wake up. Stop the tribal politics. Stop politics of your man. Wake up. And this is the reason why when Raila Amolo Odinga called on the demonstrations, people thronged those rallies because they know that Raila is championing for their cause. There are people who did not vote for Raila, but they were still on the streets because they want the cost of living to come down. In fact, if you ask some people, they will tell you that I voted for William Ruto, but he is not delivering what he promised us. So they have forgotten about the Hustler Nation. They have now embarked on looking for votes for 2027 and 2032. And they have also embarked on rewarding the Western powers that gave them this job. They are busy looking at how LGBTQ can be normalized in our country. They are looking at how GMO should be legalized. And I think the other day William Ruto said that we are going to import some maize flour into the country. And I believe that is GMO. They are busy looking for contracts to give their masters because there was a written agreement. They can't reinstate subsidies on unga, on fuel, on electricity because the Western powers have dictated that they must abandon all the subsidies. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta realized that Kenyans were suffering, and so there were subsidies that he had put in place. And that is why at least the cost of education was a little bit cheap compared to today. The cost of electricity, the cost of maize flour, the cost of fuel. And I sometimes understand where William Ruto is coming from. He's saying that the subsidies never benefited those who are supposed to benefit. But you know why this statement sometimes is not true? As a government, if you realize that the subsidies were good, but the manner in which it was being distributed, the manner in which it was working was not well, you don't remove the subsidies. You simply put mechanisms to ensure that it reaches the person who was the people who are supposed to benefit from it. That is it. You only put in place policies that can make it work. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a wake-up call, and we need very many people, more people to come up and tell Rigathi Gachagua the truth, because very soon the mountain will revolt. Mountain will make a U-turn, and Rigathi Gachagua will not even step in there. I'm telling you, because njaa haijui. It does not select. When you're hungry, you're hungry. Hunger does not select that now you voted for William Ruto and so you won't feel the pangs of hunger. Let us wake up. Let us ask questions. I've always told you that regardless of whom you voted for, we need to ask questions. Otherwise, we will all be fried together. For those who come from Mount Kenya, are you tired of Rigathi Gachagua? Or you could be tired of Rigathi Gachagua, but as long as the face of Raila is still there, you are comfortable with him. That is my take.